in these PDFs and what now you are feeding it to it. And therefore you can upload so much content, even your personal notes. You can just upload it to it and ask questions. And it will be able to come up with a summary and also to understand. It will be able to show you how the content is coming up on your end. And also we have the ChatGPT itself, where it explains the concept and also summarizes papers. I remember during our discussion yesterday, I told the people who were there that you can upload books to your AI. It should know you. You are the one using it. If you read books, if you love reading books like me, you should upload those books there. Make sure that every time you can go to AI and ask it, according to this book, what does it say concerning this? Like you have read so many books, where do you store them? Yes, there is the reference managers that you use, but if it is the AI powered, you are able to know, according to this book, this is how this writer has talked about, let's say, leadership. And now you are able to be explained the concepts and also to summarize that paper. And that becomes easier also during your literature review. Well, these helps in drafting and brainstorming your research topics and questions. I also know another key area of research is coming up with the research questions, objectives, your hypothesis, and therefore this one helps you brainstorm those research topics and questions. You can also create outlines and section drafts where you are able to know, let's say I've done a survey or a case study on something, and I need certain information, or I have several things that I need to get from that research. But I haven't known the kind of questions I will ask for this case study. What do? You brainstorm those things in the AI, those ideas that you have in your head, those questions that you have in your head, and then you ask AI, such that it is able to bring out the kind of questions that you'll be able to carry out, that will be able, let's say you are creating a Google form, that will be able to create a Google form from. That way it becomes easier than just, things have been made easier because we have AI, and that's why we are here to learn these tools. And it makes it easier to create a draft, an outline, and even come up with parts. Like let's say, like there is a research I've been doing, and I needed to know the proverbs, the Kamba proverbs. And I really wanted to, I did it with the old people. So I have to ask them, write it, even though I don't know well how to write Kamba. But now when it comes now to filling it now to my Google form to analyze the data, I have to key in each and every proverb. But apart from that, I separate the document, let's say for the proverbs, separate. I also go to the next one for, let's say the question that I asked could be something like, what is their view of the role of the Holy Spirit in salvation? What was their view? I create a document for that, their responses with all that. Another question might be, what is their view concerning transformation? Or when was the last time the grace was preached in their churches? That could be the question. When was the last time that the gospel, the real gospel, was preached in their churches? That could be also the question. And therefore, I could separate those in points such that I'm able now to come up with the specific draft or even an abstract addressing all these topics that I want to capture in my paper. And therefore, you are able to rewrite text with clarity and also academic tone. Okay, we also have reference and citation management. I think this is where we also have a problem with so many of us. Like, instead of you going to put references manually, there are tools. For instance, in our school we use Mendeley. Mendeley is free. We also have EndNote, and we also have Zotero. We have Kika. We have NightSight. And Zotero is also free, but EndNote is not free. Some institutions use EndNote. It is a good one. But I would advise you use Menly and Zotero because they are free and they are able also to upload PDF. Like you can manage your books. If let's say you have downloaded books in terms of PDF, you know it's not everybody loves hard copies, loves reading hard copy. Let's say you have PDF, you can store them there. You can store your books in these reference managers. And therefore, and even connect it to your Word document, such that you are able to cite. There is a way you can connect it. If you go to YouTube, you can learn how to connect it. Or if you can see me, if you are a student here, I can help you with that. Yes. I, yes, I can help you with connecting your reference manager to your Word document, such that you don't need to cite manually. You can just put, there is a way, you just insert in citation, and then when you go to your bibliography, it comes automatically. So, yes. But all these things are online. You can search Menly Reference Manager, how to download it, how to connect it to your Word document, how to store your documents. You can create folders, because we have many units. If you are a student, you have many units. You have leadership, you might have psychology, you might have so many. So you need to create folders to know these are books for psychology, these are books for leadership, these are books for whatever course you are doing, such that you are organized. And when now you connect to your Word document, you're able to know. Because there is a way you can have so many books in that site, it becomes very confusing even looking for a book. So you need to be very organized. And benefits of citation tools is that they are able to organize your sources systematically, like I have said. If you put inside citations using a reference manager, if you just go to your references summary, that is your bibliography, it just comes automatically. You don't need to put things manually, and that makes works easier. And also, you can format it according to the writing style that you have been taught. As here, we use APA. Other schools use Chicago. Others use MLA. There are so many referencing styles. There is Taban. Is it Taban? Yes. So there are many. There are so many, many. And you might be writing a paper to a certain conference or even a publication somewhere, and they tell you to use a certain reference style. You have to use that style because different places use different styles. And therefore, you need to adapt. And instead of doing these things manually, with a reference manager, you just put the kind of citation that you want. In your Word document, there are those options in your reference. There is that option of choosing if it's APA 7th edition, 6th edition, if it is MLA, Chicago style, whatever style it is, you are able to choose it, and it does for you automatically. So you don't need to know what Chicago does. You don't need to know what the APA is even. As long as there is that format, and you go to your Word document, and you can do it just by putting those words, then you are good to go. And also it reduces citation and referencing errors. There are so many times you usually have referencing errors, and especially if you copy-paste things from AI. If you just copy-paste without looking, you might find you have written a content that is referenced by, let's say, Martin Luther Jr., but you are saying it is by Wycliffe. So, yes. So you need to be very sure, not just copy-paste things, but to use content that you have actually read or searched on. So yeah, I've talked about the summarizing tools. I've also talked about the literature tools. And I've also talked about the writing and also the writing and drafting, and also reference and citation, and summarizing and understanding, and literature and discovery tools. And with all this, there are tools that you use in your data analysis. Yes. Yes, analyzing your data. And most of the time, we use, for research, most people use SPSS. But not even many people use SPSS. Most of us right now, if we collect data, we'll probably use a Google form, right? Like we'll create a Google form, send it to people, fill it, and therefore the feedback that we get, we have to connect it to our Google Sheets. So one of the places that you can analyze your data, like the basic place actually is a Google Sheet. The basic. It can be either an Excel, but I would advise Google Sheet because it's online, where the formulas are the same, but Google Sheet helps you collaborate with others. You can send it to someone. If you don't know the formula, they can help you come up with a formula on how to come up with a chart, on how to come up with various diagrams that you need for your research. And therefore, with Google Sheet, you can collaborate with others. An Excel sheet, not good in our era. I wouldn't advise that. So, yes. Another one is, another tool that you could use for data analytics is, if you are good with code, you can use Python. That one makes works easier for you, and anyone can learn Python. It's a good platform, and especially if you use the software of Python that is PyCharm. It's a very good, it does so much for you. It cleans the data, it analyzes the data. You are able to do so much with it compared to doing with SPSS and also with a Google Sheet. Like, you are able to do so much with Python if you can do it well and good. If you are good with coding, you can do it. So it becomes easier for you even to automate some things. You don't need to do them manually. Yes, things have been made easier for us. And therefore, you need these formulas, you need to learn. You know, research also is mathematical. There is so much mathematics that you don't see it, but there is so much mathematics. So you need to love mathematics. You need to love analyzing data. You need to love that any research that you do, let it be data-driven. Don't just wake up and you go do a research and you don't know even where you are going to collect the data. You don't even know what you are going, if you collect the data, what you are going to do with it. Yes, you might not be strong with the mathematics, but you can always ask. Like I said before, what you want, you know what you want. Let's say you want a certain column, that you want certain data to count how many people received this form, how many people responded to this form. You can just go and ask ChatGPT, if I want from column A to column A1 to column A1000, if I want to count from column A1 to column A1000, how do I do that? It will give you a formula, count if A1 to N1000, it will bring you the number. So you can use these formulas so that you get the summary of the data, and it becomes easier for you instead of going manually counting. Yes, there are those formulas that you need, and you can ask AI for the same. As long as you know what you want, as long as you know what you are looking for. The main aim is, what are you looking for? What do you want? If you are clear with that, you can just go ask AI, if I want column A. It will show you. Don't feel bad if you don't know. You don't need to know all these formulas. Personally, I don't know all the formulas. Sometimes I go to AI, just put column A, column row A. Like, yes, whatever you just want, ask it. It will show you, and it will work. You just go and put in your column and it will work. So those are the tools that I had for you today. And because most of us here are not even my age mates, and I really wanted to talk to people my age before I leave, but I will talk to the ones who are here, to the ones who are also my age here, the few that are here. When it comes to things, technology will always be here. And there is no way we are going to put away AI. Our children